So gustation is your sense of taste. You have about 4,000 taste buds in your mouth area. Most of these are on your tongue, but you also have some on the inside of your cheeks, your soft palate on the roof of the mouth, the pharynx, which is further back in the throat, as well as the epiglottis, which is the flap of cartilage that helps prevent food from going into your airways. So a tastant is the chemical signal that lands on the taste bud. And then the dissolved chemicals from the tastant get into the taste pore, and that would trigger the sense of taste. You have several different types of bumps on our tongue. We have the foliate, which are these kind of ridges on the tongue. These are weakly developed in humans, and most of these degenerate after about 2 to 3 years. The fungiform are these large bulbous ones on the tongue. These are actually look like mushrooms, hence the name fungi form, so fungus shape. These only have about 3 taste buds on one. However, they're widely distributed around the tongue. You can see these bumps all over the tongue. And then we have these large valate papilla, and these are also called circumvallate because they have circles around them. These create this V region at the base of the tongue. They have about 7 to 12 papilla total, but you have about 250 taste buds in a single papilla. So this V region in the back of the tongue makes up about half of the taste buds that you have. All taste buds look alike, so it's not true that certain regions of the tongue taste certain tastes and nothing else. There are regions of the tongue that are better at tasting certain tastes, but all taste buds can taste all of the flavors. So in a taste bud, we have the taste pore, and this is where the tastant would enter as a chemical, and then trigger these hairs. Triggering that hair would cause a local potential in the taste cell, and then cause an action potential if it triggers that threshold. Inside of your taste buds, you also have supporting cells, which are there to help provide nutrients, to help support the actual taste cells. And then we have basal cells. So basal cells are kind of like stem cells that can turn into supporting cells or taste cells if the taste bud actually gets damaged. So if you eat something really hot and then your tongue gets burned and you can't taste anything for a while, that's because you did actually hurt your taste buds, and it's going to take a few days until your taste buds regenerate. We generally have 5 tastes. Molecules have to be dissolved in order to be tasted. So if you tried to eat something that was completely dry, you wouldn't actually taste it. And each of these tastes can be tasted across the entire tongue. So salty comes from things like metal ions like sodium and potassium. The salts are generally vital electrolytes, and we use salts for osmotic regulation. So a lot of these tastes that are kind of yummy that we like are going to motivate us to eat things that our body does actually need, like salt. Another taste that tends to be yummy is sweet, and this is going to be found in most carbohydrates, including sugar, and even complex carbohydrates can taste sweet once they're broken down in the mouth. We believe that this sweet fondness kind of co-evolved with plants because plants are where we get most of our sugars, like fruits. Umami is a Japanese word that means delicious, and this typically motivates us to eat things that have protein, and this is a meaty or savory flavor that's produced by things with amino acids. So this would be from meat, legumes, things that taste kind of savory. Sour and bitter tend to be more aversive tastes. So sour helps to avoid spoiled food or overloads on pH balance. So things like citric fruits like lemons and oranges that are good for us, but maybe not so much because they're very acidic, taste sour. As well as bitter. Bitter is our strongest taste. We have the lowest threshold for tasting this, so it's what we're most sensitive to. Bitter is foods that are high in alkaloids, like things like caffeine, nicotine, morphine, things that are actually drugs. as well as poisons. So bitter would have been adaptive for finding things like poisoned water and knowing not to drink that, or spoiled food and knowing not to eat it. Plants typically make fruit that is really sweet because they want animals to eat it and spread their seeds, and then they make leaves that are bitter because they don't want animals to eat their leaves, because that's how they do photosynthesis. So take a moment and describe the different cells involved in a taste bud.